Hi, this is Chris with Wannabe Honey Farms, and this is a different video. I'm kind of moving the channel in a different direction, and I think Shirley, unbeknownst to her as of yet, is going to be playing a little bit larger part in it. We're still going to do everything we've been doing with bees, and we're going to continue that learning process. We've moved on. We've got chickens now, and there is such a thing as chicken math. I think I showed you guys the coop that I set up and the alterations I made. Well, I've made a lot more alterations to the point where I'm done making alterations and I'm already going to start building a new coop. That's to come. The second thing we're doing is, or the next thing we're doing, I should say, is I don't know how to label this because I don't consider myself a prepper or a homesteader. But we are slowly moving in a direction to where we're more self-sustained and less dependent on the grocery store. And that brings me to our video today. I went down to my local butcher and I got myself a whole pork belly. And today I'm gonna make my own bacon. The price is pretty negligible. It's about the same as what you would buy in the store. The only difference being is by doing it myself, I know what's going into it. I know how it was prepared, and I know exactly what chemicals that we're putting into our bodies. And so that's kind of the point here, and that's the direction we're going to go. And so this is going to be making bacon. The pork belly itself is 10 pounds. I got it with skin on. I did not intentionally do that. That's just the way it wound up. I do not want to make cracklings. I would love to try that. Shirley is not a fan. And you know how it is when you're married. If she's not a fan, it means I'm not a fan either. So anyway, I'm just going to skin this up and we're going to start preparing it, and I'll talk you guys through it as we go. See what we got in the bag. This is a lot of meat. And I've never done this before, so I anticipate this being just an ugly mess. Alright, so I guess what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start peeling away. You know what? I'm not sure what the heck I bought. And it doesn't say here on the packaging, but I think this is skinless because this is just fat. Shirley, does that sound right? Yeah, this is skinless and it's just got the fat on it. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to set this fat aside and I'm going to save it for the dogs. But yeah, I'm going to try to trim a lot of this fat away. I'm not doing my impression of Santa Claus. It's just here in Western Washington, we are not used to getting snow, and we've been getting a lot of it lately. And I have been trying my best not to go outside, man. I don't even know where to begin to do this. So I guess I'm just going to start. Alright, one thing I love about you guys is that you're not overly critical of me and telling me how stupid I am. And I would hope that sentiment would prevail during this process, because I am not an expert meat cutter by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't really know how much of this fat that I should be trimming. How much more trimming would you do?
None. I think it looks good.
Wow, Shirley says it looks good. All right. So with that being said, I've got a pan here. Amazingly, I think this thing's going to fit in the pan. Okay, as many people will attest, I do not know what I'm doing. And so, first off, I'm going to use a 50-50 mixture of sugar and salt. And what we're going to do is we're going to rub this all over the pork belly, and that's going to draw out the moisture. And we're going to continue to do that, reapply it once a day. Now, I've heard this can take anywhere from 4 to 10 days. So we're just going to see how it goes. The other thing is what kind of salt I'm going to use. All right, this is plain old table salt. Shirley, is that right? Just plain old table salt. We're going to throw that out right away because I do not want to use it. It's too fine. It gets into the pork belly, and then your pork belly becomes too salty. I've got a course of action that I want to take if it does get too salty, but I would prefer not to go down that road. So, I've got sea salt right here, and I've got kosher salt. Okay, I'm looking at the sea salt. It looks pretty fine. The kosher salt is a little bit bigger, a little more coarser. So this is the first time I'm looking at these. That's the kosher, and that's the sea salt. The sea salt is very fine. The kosher, yeah, I think that's the road I'm going to go down. Okay, so with that being said, okay, so I'm taking a cup of kosher salt. That's all for that container. Luckily, Shirley knows how I am, and I've got a plan B back up here. All right, that's right up to the line, so that's 1 cup of salt. And I'm going to use 1 cup of brown sugar. She's looking at me. I just broke the handle off of her cup. All right. Plan B. Okay, that's roughly 1 cup of brown sugar. Add that to the salt. This is an extra added bonus I didn't think about. But by using brown sugar, it's such a contrast to the white kosher salt. I can really see when this is mixed up together. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to take our pork belly, put it in our pan. Look at that, man. That fits so fantastically. Okay, I think we're going to call that good. Okay. So now we're going to really work this in so that salt and the sugar can really start drawing out that moisture. Oh, and by the way, how did I decide to do this the way I'm doing this? Well, just like you guys, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And one thing that I was a little bit shocked about when it came to YouTube videos and making bacon was how many ways there were to do this. There were people that soaked it for a number of days. There were people that put it in a what do you call it, a cold smoker, and that's all they did to it, not letting the temperature go over like 80 or so. People would just put it in a regular smoker and brought it up to like 180. And just about like anything else online or YouTube, the only thing these guys really agreed on was that everybody else was wrong and theirs was the only way to go. Okay, so anyway, the way I decided to go on this is to do the sugar salt rub, and we're going to put this in the refrigerator, and then we're going to come back to it tomorrow with another cup of sugar, another cup of salt, and we're going to do the exact same thing to it. Hopefully, if all goes as planned, tomorrow this should be bathing in a little pool of liquid that's been drawn out of the pork belly. And then we're just going to reapply it again. Unfortunately, this is the only pan this size that I have. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to wipe out the pan real good. I'm going to put it back in, and I'm going to reapply more salt and sugar. And I'm going to do this every day until I go into the refrigerator and I look down at this thing, and it's completely dry. No more liquids coming out. At that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a chunk of it, and I'm going to fry it up, and I'm going to taste test it. And my taste test, if it comes out too salty, what I'll do is I'll just soak it in water for 4 to 6 hours or so and try to get some of that salt out and get it down. Then I'll cut off another slice, taste test it again. When it gets down to where I think it's not too salty, I'm gonna pat it dry and take it out on the grill, and I'm gonna smoke it at about 180 for about 6 hours. And at that point, my bacon should be cured. It should be ready to go and ready for slicing, cooking, and eating. But for now, we're just gonna take this over to the refrigerator. Okay, that didn't work out the way I thought. My refrigerator is not closing. And so I'm going to shuffle some stuff around in there until I get it closed, but rest assured that I will. And then I'm going to come back every day. All right, I'll keep you guys informed as to what's going on. Bye. Okay, here we are, day 2. I had Shirley go back and review the instructions that I was going by and using on YouTube, only to find out that I already screwed up the first step. They said, step 1, and I screwed that up. Step 1 was do not use a metallic pan. Here I am. So I don't know if this has ruined everything right from the start. I have no idea. But I do want you guys to take a look at this. Just look at how much liquid has come out of this thing already. I mean, it is just, there's probably about 3/4 of an inch of fluid in there. But being the consummate expert or professional that I am, I'm going to proceed as if nothing happened. I'm going to transfer over to this pan, a glass pan. If need be, I may have to cut it in half, and then we'll just stack it. And actually, on the video that I learned from, that's what they did, is they stacked it. And I thought I was being so clever, going, ha ha, I have a large enough pan to pull this off. Well, not so much. Okay, so with that being said, goodness, I'm gonna pull this out. I tell you what, I'm going to leave it like this.
That was mistake number 2. Skin side down.
Yeah, I know. Hunt camera person for me.
I can't see what I'm doing though.
Okay, I almost got it to fit in this pan, but not quite. Shirley has told me, Shirley, try that again. What side do I put down?
Skin side down.
Skin side down, okay. So, crap. I'm gonna have to just make a mess here. Okay, so, I'm gonna try to correct my mistake here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, so let's try this again. I think I'm going to rename this video "How to Screw Up by the Numbers." Oh, and by the way, I broke Shirley's measuring cup yesterday, and she pretended to act all upset and butthurt about it, only to find out that she actually broke this before I did and glued it back on. Shame on you, Shirley, for making me feel guilty. All right, so there we go. I'm doing exactly what I did yesterday. 1 cup of salt.
Yeah, we can.
1 cup sugar.
Put it in a mason jar and shake it.
Shirley says I should put this in a mason jar to mix it up and shake it up, but naturally she gives me this wonderful advice after I've already got it in a bowl.
No, put some in here first. Put that in there. That's the way they did it.
All right, Shirley's backseat driving me off on the side here. Could you wipe this out a little bit? Okay, so the way the directions said to do this was put the skin side down. So this was the skin side with all the fat that I trimmed off yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub this in. What?
You don't rub it in, you just shake it up.
Shirley's backseat driving me to death. She says don't rub it in. But now I'm going to rub it in just to spite her. Wrong or not, because that's what guys do. Okay, so we got that all on, and now I'm gonna put it in the pan, fat skin side down. Okay, so we got that good and covered, and now what we're gonna do is the same thing, only we're gonna turn this into like a sandwich, and we're gonna put this side skin down too after we put another generous coating of sugar and salt on it. I guess I could have gotten away without doing that since it's just going to go right on top of the other one. But nonetheless, okay. And just look at all that juice that came out after the first day. All right, we're just going to keep doing this every day now until we pull this out of the refrigerator one day and it's completely dry in the pan. All right, yesterday was day 8, and I couldn't get to the pork belly bacon, or whatever we're calling it. I could see that the pan was dry last night, but I just didn't have time to get to it. So it's day 9, but we're gonna call it day 8. But anyway, there's our pork belly. It's looking really good. The pan is dry. We're done leaking. So the process today is I'm gonna rinse all the salt and everything off of it. I'm going to test drive it, and if it is salty, I'm going to soak it in a pan of water for a little bit. If it seems okay, I'm going to put it right on the smoker, and it will officially become bacon. So I'm going to rinse it off now, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, this has been soaking now for an hour, and so hopefully we've got all the salt, all the excess salt out. I'm going to pat this dry real quick. All right, come with me. What I've got is a Pit Boss pellet grill, and I've had this set on smoke. That's about 180 degrees, but with the current weather we're having, I doubt it'll go above 160, which is absolutely fantastic for our purposes. So I'm going to put this wonderful, lovely bacon on the grill, not on the ground. And we're going to let that sit for probably about 8 hours now. And then we should be completely done. And the pork belly will no longer be pork belly. It will be bacon. And it will be yummy. All right. Thank you. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Everything's all done and said now. This is what we came up with. That is a lot of bacon. And now I'm going to cook some up and give it a try. Okay. We've taken the bacon, and I put it in there at 350 for 10 minutes. And this stuff I'm finding cooks a lot faster than your traditional store-bought bacon. And I'm thinking 350 at 10 minutes. Yeah, that does it. I'm going to put this bacon experiment in the wing column. This is really, really good. I do need to fill you in on a couple things that you missed though along the way that didn't get shown. Okay, when I first brought it out and cured it, it was very salty. And so what I did is I took it, both of the bricks, or all 4 of the bricks I should say, and I soaked them in water for about a half an hour, and then pat dried them off, and then I cut them up, and they were still salty. Shirley, they were fine by me, but Shirley thought they were too salty. So I took the strips and I soaked them in water, just cold water, soaked them in cold water again for all of about 20 minutes, and this is the end result. I mean, it's salty the way bacon should be salty. Let me turn off this fan. There we go. It's salty the way bacon should be salty, but not so much so that you crinkle up your nose. This is really good bacon, better than any store-bought I've ever had. But anyway, you want to go down this road, keep following us. We're gonna go into other directions. Shirley's gonna start canning. She's gonna do both. This is her area of expertise, not mine. So she's gonna do pressure canning and water bath canning. And we're just going to start putting stuff away and being less dependent on Safeway. Not end of the world people, preppers, but we're going to be less dependent. But anyway, you know the drill. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe. If you want to see more videos as they come, and I think you're going to want to, be sure and click that bell. Bye. Damn, that's good.